Okay, move your foot.
This is our,
I definitely think, to start off the first episode, we should do that standard podcast thing where we just kind of start talking and pretend like we're, not recording.
This is our podcast.
Yeah.
We need to start out with the podcast. Like the,
Yeah, start out like a real podcast.
The standard.
The standard.
The standard podcast intro. Welcome. Welcome to our podcast.
What they call it in school, the curriculum.
I don't think that's what they call the podcast standard. We need to make T-shirts. The podcast standard. Trademark.
And then 5 minutes into the podcast, actually do our intro.
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome to Descant. Pretty sure that's what we're calling it.
We fairly certain.
Fairly certain. We talked about it a good bit, but
yeah. And then I started
got some other ideas.
Then I started talking about the Sega Dreamcast, and he got confused.
One of our other ideas was Beancast, and we were very disappointed to find out that was already taken.
Beancast was taken.
Several times taken.
Yeah, multiple people.
So, what are you thinking for an actual intro, though? What should we say? We should have something.
We should come up with an intro.
Yeah, right here.
Right here on the spot. You got me. I have no ideas. I'm in a podcast mode now. I'm not in creative mode.
You were a few minutes ago. You played Minecraft on my computer.
Yeah, /game mode creative. It's a gamer joke. Only for gamers.
And I hit him with the Alt F4,
Yeah. He booted me.
We should do something really cheesy like, good morning. Good. No, that wasn't all of it.
Good morning.
Look at those audio peaks, dude.
Oh yeah. He's hitting the mountain highs and the valley lows.
Hey, that's a good song.
Can we talk about this Tigger sticker?
Okay. Listen, this is not the most ghetto setup that you and I have ever dealt with.
That is entirely true.
So, our setup that we have going right now, there is a sewing table that I took from my mom, and it has a Tigger sticker on it. That sounded wrong when it came out for some reason.
Tigger sticker.
Tigger sticker? That's what I thought I said, but I didn't.
Tigger sticker.
What the heck was I talking about? We have a sewing table in front of us. It's literally the perfect height for us to just sit down and talk into a microphone.
Perfect podcast material. It was made.
Perfect podcast material. Yeah, it's not like it was made for sewing.
It's a podcast table. The podcast standard. I'm telling you.
I need to set a timer. Anyway,
you say as you put your phone down.
Shut up! I can't talk and do it at the same time. Okay, pause. All right. That's going to be really loud in half an hour. So
the timer has been set.
The timer has
Once
begun.
It hits 30 minutes, we're cutting it, whether we're in the middle of a conversation or...
Exactly.
Just going to cut it exactly 30 minutes.
That's probably what we're going to shoot for initially.
Keep it short and sweet.
But, if that just so happens to pass by really fast, I think we could maybe go longer. I don't know.
We could.
But, on the sewing table is my lovely Blue Yeti microphone.
Sponsored.
Sponsor.
We're not sponsored.
Sponsor, not sponsor. And 6 water bottles are on this table. And it's literally just in the middle of my room with my my chair from my desk and a chair from my kitchen table. So
we're really pulling out all the stops.
All the stops.
To make this the best that it can be.
If we want to talk about sketchy sketchy setups,
there's nothing better.
I think you should.
Let me tell this. So, Mr. Eli here wanted to record a song.
Oh yeah, I'm Eli.
Oh yeah, I'm
we
Noah.
We did say that.
Yeah.
We literally didn't introduce ourselves.
Anyone listening to this episode probably already knows who we are, because I'm gonna be like, "Hey mom."
That's a fair point.
Hey mom.
Yeah.
We made a podcast.
Yeah.
Just mother, when you're listening to this, this is me. Here I am.
Did I tell you about the Lionsgate guy?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk more about that in a second.
Yeah, we got
talk about the sketchy setup.
Sketchy setup. So, Eli wanted to record a video for
The old YT.
the old YT, TTV Eli.
Dish Network.
TTV Blue Bed.
I keep bumping this sewing table, and I feel like that's going to actually be really loud.
Anyway, so we really wanted... He wanted to record us, like, video for us. And his walls are a bright neon green he likes to call chartreuse.
Was that a necessary detail?
Yes, it is. He was going to green screen us, and I was like, well, how are you going to do that? Like,
I don't remember saying that.
yeah, you did. You're like, I'm going to put some stuff behind us. And his walls are green, so, I mean, it made perfect sense.
It actually does work. I've done it before.
Yeah, he did. He showed me. He was like, look at this. And I was like, okay, Eli. So we took my phone, my iPhone XR, sponsored.
We can't say that to you.
You imagine getting sponsored by Apple? That's a good sponsor.
Have a free $1 million.
What are we, Trump? A small one. We're not trying to get political. So instead of just,
We should have an episode where we talk about politics.
I don't know about that. Instead of us trying to, try and find something good to set my phone on, like a table or like a nightstand or something, we got like a coat hanger and like some tape, and we just like jerry-rigged my phone to it. Was it a mic stand you had?
It was actually that was a school project. That's what that was. It was those like crappy Logitech webcams.
Yeah.
I made a tripod. Well, it wasn't a tripod. It didn't have 3 legs, but I made a stand for that out of PVC pipes, and it was awful. It was for a webcam, and we tried to use it for an iPhone. So
yeah, it didn't go so well. And the iPhone records good video, so that was fine.
At one point, there were like jumper cables involved and like a plate. we hung the jumper cables on a plate and then on the stand.
Yes, the stand was like leaning
it was
forward.
Very intricate.
So we actually had to lean the stand backwards by hooking it with no, they're not jumper cables. What are they? Bungee cords.
Bungee cords. Yeah,
we had bungee cords holding it back, so it wouldn't lean forward, so it would get our face. The end result was not terrible. Like, the video was fine, and
the video looked great, but
but the way the way we had to do it was so terrible, and we can
literally like brush up against it, and the entire thing would just fall, and all 3 of us would like start crying.
Yeah, our friend Alex was there. He was singing the good old bass line.
Shout out to you, Mr. You're a legend.
Yeah, Alex, you legend.
Do you think I should have not said his last name?
Just bleep
It's okay,
it.
Alex isn't his real name anyway.
Well, now we know that. Just bleep that. Just bleep his last name. Put a frog over it.
Will do.
Mr. Alex Redacted.
What?
Just put the voice clip of me saying redacted over that.
What does redacted mean?
It's like when they remove, like, information. Like, for example, in Apex Legends, sponsored.
Dude. I feel like I'm being too loud. I'm being too loud.
One of the characters, Wraith, we didn't know her name for the longest time because she was like a test subject, and she didn't even know her name because her memory was wiped. And on her like character sheet on the website, her name, her age, her planet of origin and stuff was all redacted because they took that information away because it basically just wasn't necessary. So I don't know the actual definition of the word redacted, but
hey Google.
She didn't.
Define redacted.
There's a ladybug on your hair.
What the heck?
On your hair. Brother. Well, it's gone now.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's November.
Yeah. November in the good old South.
Yeehaw. Hey Google. What the heck does redacted mean?
On the website reddit.com, they say, redacting is when you remove sensitive data from records that people reading the document shouldn't know. Data expunged should mean that data has been removed from all records or knowledge.
You like how
Sweet.
you like how it asked Reddit?
Because that's what we want. I mean, it gave us the
The
good
good
seat.
source, dude.
Baby. Baby.
Babe.
Baby.
Ice, babe.
No, we're gonna get copyright striked if we sing Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, and no, we're not gonna get freaking in any trouble for all of the sponsors that you falsely claimed.
No, we've been sponsored. What do you mean? These are legitimate sponsors.
Sponsored by Pepsi.
Dude,
What else are we sponsored by?
not Pepsi. I don't know why you said Pet. That's the worst sponsor. It's like getting
Why?
sponsored by dirt. Sponsored by air.
Bro,
You will
I
die
mean, it's
without
what their
it.
drinks taste like. Anyway,
Listen, Mountain Dew. I can
is
get
Mountain
behind-
Dew a Pepsi product?
Yeah, it is.
I actually didn't.
You know what
that.
else is a Pepsi product? KFC, as well as Pizza Hut and
That's weird.
Taco Bell and Frito Lay is all part of PepsiCo.
It's weird.
I didn't know that for the longest time. Did you know
I knew
that
about
Disney,
like Pizza Hut and stuff.
Disney owns ABC. That's interesting.
What the heck?
Yeah, and also the History Channel. Didn't know that either. Disney also owns Mickey.
Thank you.
Just thought you should know that.
Anyway, so I know we went on a Logitech.
A Logitech mouse, wireless mouse.
I know we went on a lot of tangents and probably didn't fit.
Oh, sorry about that. Continue.
We probably didn't finish a lot of the stories we started, but
That's just how we are.
yeah.
Get used to it.
He knows he has ADHD, and I probably have it too.
I actually have never been diagnosed, but
Well, actually, no, I was because they gave me Adderall for it. And Adderall, let me tell you,
the good stuff.
it makes you focus. I think I had off. I don't know what I had. I don't think it was actually Adderall, but it was like off-brand.
Yeah,
And
can't be paying for that.
I'm not sponsored by Adderall. Don't connect me to illegal drugs.
Bro, can we get a ripped jeans sponsor?
Just by like ripped jeans in general. No actual company. A sponsor by Hollister. And Abercrombie. and
Sponsored
Fitch.
by pants.
Please wear them. That's their tagline.
Sponsored by water.
Now that's a good sponsor. Drink water, kids. Seriously. Listen, I live off of a very strict diet of whatever's in front of me,
Nice.
and also water. I drink copious amounts of the liquid.
So do I. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Tell-
do you want me to tell that story about when
Tell them about the first time you came to my house. That
And
was the
there-
first time, right?
No,
Or was that like
no,
the second?
I think it was the second.
I think it was the second.
So
Eli's house is a little messy, but
It's not my fault.
it's not his fault. When you walk in
My
his room,
room.
it's pristine.
Yeah.
And I walked in today.
It
and
has a sewing table in it.
as of today. It has a Tigger sticker as well, in case
Yeah.
you didn't catch us saying that earlier.
That sounds so wrong.
Tigger sticker.
I don't know why that.
It's just
you
weird.
ever hear like certain words? and
Ticker
it sounds.
Stigger.
It just sounds wrong.
Anyway, so we what was I even talking about? Oh, the bottles. So well, when I walked in today, the only thing that wasn't like up to par was his bed wasn't made, and he was like ridiculously upset about it.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm so sorry that my bed isn't
Listen.
made."
Okay, so I mean, this kind of segues into what we were actually supposed. Yeah. What we were actually intending to talk about is who we are and like what we do and stuff. So I work at a movie theater, and they give me like a buttload of hours. That's a real unit, and I'm pretty sure it actually is. Like, for real.
I'm fairly certain it is a real unit of measurement.
And I keep getting so distracted. What the heck?
A buttload
Okay.
is... Hold on. A buttload is 6 seams. I don't know what that is. 48 bushels. I assume of, like, hay. Or 384 gallons. So you have 384 gallons of hours, which is quite a few.
Yeah. So, they give me a lot of hours. That was my point. And freaking these ladybugs flying are just distracting me. Literally, they're just flying around.
You want to talk
peacefully
about
in
my
room.
job?
No,
While you try to remember
no.
yours?
Okay, no. So, they give me a lot of hours, but I normally have Sundays off. I almost always have Sundays off. So, I took my one day off this week to, like, tidy up my room and all that, and because I've kind of let it go recently because I haven't had time from work and going to the gym and all that.
Big man exercises.
Yeah, I do.
I called him the other night and I was like, hey, you want to play some video games? And he's like, nah, bro, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta wake up and go to the gym. I'm getting my life together. And I was like, oh, well, that makes me depressed.
You want to tell him what game it was?
No, I'd rather not.
I didn't think so.
You know, I think just for the masses, the mass of 18 people that are going to listen to this, it was Fortnite.
Yeah.
I wanted him to play Fortnite because Chapter 2 just dropped like a couple months ago or a month ago or whatever. And I was real excited because I hadn't played it in a while, and I actually am enjoying it again. And Eli has refused to even reinstall it.
We used to... Well, I mean, I still have it installed, but...
Oh, that's fair.
We used to play it all the time, and we actually were both pretty good. We were...
Not
we
like
were
ninja
not,
level.
We were not, like, the best, but we got decent. We got above average, I think.
Yeah. Well, and now the skill level that we were at is like trash, just because people have been doing nothing but play that game for hours and hours and months, and you just get built all over. It's crazy.
But I don't want to go down that road again.
It's understandable. There was a time where I literally I would stay up for hours and hours and play Fortnite. And now
it's addictive.
I've got to. It would get to the point where I would just not sleep. And that was like really unhealthy. And now I typically go to bed really, really late, but I wake up late, and I have, if not a healthy sleeping schedule, I have a normal one, and it's normal for me, and it works for me because I work at night.
Yeah.
So it works. I still get a healthy amount of sleep, and it's a lot better than it used to be. I would be living on 3 hours of sleep, and probably a cumulative total of like 20 hours of sleep a week, and it just wasn't good. And now I've got a solid 16 hours of sleep a day.
I can't go a night without getting at least 8 hours.
There are days I could always tell.
I lose my crap, dude.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
I lose my crap, dude.
Yeah, he loses it. There were days when he would come into school.
Oh yeah, throw back to high school.
Oh yeah,
we're old.
Eli's 1 year younger than me.
I am 18.
I'm 19. We're real old, ancient, if you will. And he would. I could always tell when Eli got 7.5 hours of sleep because he would come in, and the only thing that was done about him was his like shoes were tied, and like everything
That's
else
not true. No, I never missed a shower before school. I don't think I ever went to school without showering
or doing your hair. You always put the gel in and stuff like that. But there was always just his mannerisms were different. He would like slouch, and you could just tell. And I was like, "How'd you sleep, Eli?" And he'd just look at me, and I'd be like, "Okay, I understand." And then you could tell the days where he had like 8.5 hours of sleep. He got that extra 30 minutes, and he's ready.
I tell you what, man,
to rule the day.
8.5 just hits different.
Once it hits 9, you're sluggish.
Yeah,
but like 8.5.
9 is too much.
But 8.5 is the best time.
8 and anything below 8 is kind of not enough. 8's all right, but 8.5
is like
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot.
That's the thing. You set your alarm for 8 hours, and then you snooze it for half an hour, and then you wake up and you're like, yes, I'm ready to take on the day. Or if you're me, you snooze it for an hour.
Yeah, I set alarms for every 5 minutes because it takes me every 5 minutes for an hour. Because it takes me so long to convince myself just to get up.
Yeah, it's so rough.
The grind is rough, man.
Something that I've started doing that actually helps me a lot to wake up is whenever I need to be woken up, I'll set an alarm 2 hours earlier. Like, say I need to be at work at 1. I'll set my alarm for 11.
I do the exact same thing.
I'll
2 hours before you have to be there. I do the exact same thing. I set my
alarm, and then when I wake up at 11, I just wake up and then open my phone and start playing a YouTube video.
Scroll through TikTok.
No.
Sponsor.
Never TikTok. No. I'd rather die than be sponsored by TikTok.
Listen, TikTok is better than Fortnite.
That is a subjective statement, and I choose to disagree. I know that Fortnite is toxic, and it's terrible.
So is TikTok.
TikTok is just worse.
Let's talk about social media.
Listen,
Let's talk about Facebook.
I would rather not.
I deleted Facebook a long time ago, and my life has only gotten better.
Same.
My girlfriend still uses Facebook, and every once in a while I see her just scrolling through Facebook, and I think to myself, why am I dating this girl? Because she still has Facebook. I hope you're listening to this. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, which is fair. So, redacted. I love you, but delete Facebook. It's not necessary anymore. Did you hear that Instagram is removing likes?
Yeah, I
Did you hear
did.
about that? I don't know. What does that even mean? Like, why?
I kind of dig it. I was told that it meant like you can't see other people's likes on pictures.
So
but you can.
you
I'm
can
pretty
see
sure
the
you
likes
can
on
see your
your
own.
own.
I think, if I remember correctly.
See, from what I read, I thought they were moving like the entire like system entirely.
I'm pretty sure you can still like. I think only you can see your own though. I think that's how it works.
I think that makes sense, and I think that'll remove a lot of.
I like
the,
that.
I think that'll remove a lot of the I have more likes than you stuff
Bro, I
like
feel
that.
bad for the egg.
I mean, he still won.
He won.
Have you seen the stuff? Like, do you still follow him?
I do.
And you see
It's
all
so
the like,
pure.
it's like the body positive stuff and all the stuff like the mental health and stuff like that, and the thing he did with DJ Khaled and stuff.
I don't
like
know
that.
about that.
It was basically just. I don't remember exactly what happened, but there was a thing that they did. There was like a thing they did together.
DJ Khaled.
That's his only lyric.
Anyway,
I've never listened to a song by DJ Khaled.
so let's actually talk about ourselves because that's what we wanted to do in this first episode. So
We could just make this the pilot episode. This is episode 0.
pilot.
Episode 0.
That's fair.
Ground 0.
I mean, we still have 10 minutes.
Pretty good.
So
Make a good time.
We can talk about ourselves a little bit.
Okay, well, I'll start.
Okay.
Shut up.
That's probably a good idea.
I'm Noah. I'm 19.
You don't have to do it like that. This isn't like a support group. You're like, I'm Noah, I'm 19, and I have a heroin addiction.
I told you not to tell anybody, bro.
I'll put the frog over that too.
I have a redacted addiction.
But we live in the South of the U.S., and that's all you need to know. And that's
We live
really
in
all you need to
Georgia.
know. Georgia.
I feel like we can say Georgia.
We could say Georgia. We live in Georgia. It's
Very small town.
it's Georgia.
It's Georgia.
That it is. The biggest thing near us is Walmart.
Oh,
The
yeah.
biggest thing in since
But
what?
heck, we're getting an Arby's, so I don't care.
When? We've been getting an
You
Arby's
knew
for the
about that,
past
right?
like 10
No.
years. Yeah.
And-
It's been like an ongoing thing for a long time.
They haven't started building it, have they?
No. They started building a Popeyes.
You have a good point. They started Popeyes and they started Longhorn.
Okay,
See,
so
this is the stuff we get excited about.
So they started a Popeye. We got a Chick-fil-A
Remember when
in
we got a
2015.
Taco Bell?
Yeah.
That
We got a
was-
Chick-fil-A in 2015 and everyone went nuts.
That was 2015.
Yeah, it was 2015. Isn't that
It's
weird?
crazy.
So I don't know if you know this about the Popeyes. So our Popeyes started getting built. First of all,
you started talking about yourself, and now it's like, wait, let me see how much later. It's not even 2 months later, and now we're talking about Popeyes.
2 months.
you mean minutes?
2 minutes.
Anyway, so Popeyes. It started getting built, and it got built pretty fast.
Probably within a month. I mean, it's basically finished.
They just have to do like the outside details and stuff. The whole building's painted.
I assume everything's finished inside. They just have to do like all the electricity, like all the power and plumbing and the finishing touches and stuff. But it just
Hire people.
what happened? It just stopped being built, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" And I found out from one of our friends. Bleep out his name. It was
Okay.
the one who just does everything.
Oh, I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Bleep all
he's
that
cool.
out. One of
He gave
our
me a free cookie on Halloween.
one of our adult friends, because we're adults and we have friends. He works
Okay.
he works like up in the town, and he's like in the courthouse all the time, and he knows everything. Apparently, the entire staff for the people that were building it, the whole construction crew, were illegal immigrants, and they got busted,
Nice.
and they are all being deported. like it's not a joke.
What the heck?
So, and like the only person who wasn't an illegal immigrant was like the manager, and he's like in big trouble because he was hiring illegal immigrants and he knew about it. So, like not even like half the crew, the entire crew and the person leading the construction have all been like taken into
My
custody and
gosh.
stuff. And it's so crazy, and everyone's really mad because now we don't get Popeyes.
Speaking of Mexico,
Ah, we're gonna segue into this.
well,
No, save that.
no, I am gonna say it. That's what I was gonna say. This is going to take a lot of time to talk about, so we're gonna save it. But I went on a cruise like 3 weeks ago, and I had the time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Ryan.
Is that a reference to something I read?
Like
what is that?
the New Year's celebration thing. Ryan Seacrest hosted it.
Oh, yeah. Back to you, Ryan.
I have a
did you see
video
the-
of
did you see
myself
the-
on New Year's. Literally just... I'm pretty sure I'm eating a taquito, and I like zoom in on my face and say back to you, Ryan, and that's it.
Did you ever see the thing about?
I want to talk about New Year now. Go ahead.
Did you see the New Year's thing this year with Ninja?
No.
So he tried to get everybody to floss. So Ninja was
Oh my gosh.
like a co-host of like one of the segments, and he tried to get everybody in Times Square to floss. And he's up on the stage,
Dude.
and he's flossing, and he's like, "Come on, guys, floss with me. I don't see enough energy down there." And it pans down to the crowd, and nobody is dancing. Not a single soul is flossing. And Ninja is like, "Come on, guys, I don't see any energy down there." And he's still going, he's still flossing. It is the funniest thing. And he commented about it on his stream, and he was like, "Listen,
Kobe. Nice.
let's go 3-pointer." He talked about it on his stream, and he's like, "Listen, you have no idea how embarrassing it is, but you just got to move on." It was really funny. Anyway, about myself.
Okay, we actually need to talk about ourselves.
We got to.
That's supposed to be the topic.
We have lost. The
I'm going to
topic.
title it "Ourselves?" question mark.
So, I'm Noah. I'm addicted to heroin. Not really. Sponsored by heroin.
He works at Starbucks.
I do. So, here's the thing. I don't work at Starbucks.
He doesn't work at Starbucks.
I work-
He does, but he doesn't.
I work for Ingles Markets, which is, for those of you who don't know, basically Walmart, but less.
Yeah.
And more expensive. So,
I didn't know that wasn't like a
like a national thing.
Yeah, national.
Yeah, it's only like on the East Coast. It's like in the southeast.
yeah. Like
of the U.S.
I
It's
think
kinda
I
like
was talking
Publix.
to.
Although Publix is
I
everywhere.
think I was talking to like Tyler or someone, and I mentioned Ingles, and he was like, "What the heck is that?" And I was like, "Grocery store."
For those of you who don't know, it's just a grocery store. It's not like Walmart where it has everything. I mean, it does have a lot of stuff, but it's not. Basically, it's an exact copy of Publix or Kroger or Winn-Dixie, those type stores. I think I've heard that Wegmans,
what the heck is that?
I think that's another one. I saw that in a YouTube video. I think Wegmans is what it's called, but it's the
Okay.
same idea. Anyway,
Ours
so-
has a Starbucks kiosk.
yeah, it has a Starbucks kiosk in it. So I work for Ingles, or I work for Starbucks through Ingles. So I'm not in the system for like Starbucks corporate. I'm in the system for Ingles. I get paid by Ingles. I wear an Ingles shirt. And Ingles is terrible to work for because they have really strict rules. Not the worst to work for. There's definitely worse companies out there. I get good wage. I get good hours. It's just aggravating because, like, for example, you can't have painted fingernails, and that doesn't apply to me specifically, but like even as like a cashier, you
That's
can't have
stupid.
you can't have painted fingernails.
Why?
I don't know. You can't dye your hair anything that isn't natural.
That's also stupid.
You can't have any piercings. You can have
Tattoos?
2 piercings on your ears, and if you have 3, they make you take 1 out. It's
What about
very.
tattoos?
It's very. Tattoos have to be covered up at all times.
That's
Unless it's smaller than the size of a $50.
that's so specific.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I don't like about, like, I don't know, I guess chains and stuff.
Yeah.
Because everything's so official.
That's how it was at McDonald's too. This isn't me just slamming on Ingles because I like working for Ingles. It's not that bad.
Let's talk about my job.
You want to talk?
Mine
about
is the complete freaking opposite.
I am so jealous of Eli here. Hold on. Let me finish talking about Starbucks because I love Starbucks. I love making drinks. I love being a barista. I like. I even like doing the run into the back, stocking and stuff. It's a fun job and I really enjoy it. It's aggravating working for Ingles. It's not bad. It's just annoying at times because corporate Starbucks in a neighboring town, there's actually another Ingles that has a Starbucks in it, and there's a corporate Starbucks, both in the same town.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
But the corporate Starbucks. So, I found this out recently. The Starbucks in that other town, in the Ingles, and our Starbucks in our Ingles are part of the same region. We have the same regional manager and stuff like that. But the other Starbucks that is in that same town has a completely different regional manager because it's not a franchise. It's a corporate Starbucks. So there's a completely different line of leaders and managers and stuff for that Starbucks, which is really weird because one of the corporate leaders for that Starbucks came in, and I was really scared. I'm like, oh no, she's gonna start doing all this, and my manager was like, she has no power here. She can't tell us anything because she does not work for Ingles. She works for Starbucks, and we don't work for Starbucks. And it was so weird, and there's just so many weird rules and stuff. It's just annoying to try and define all the stuff that you have to do. But talk about your job. I want to.
Shut up. We're gonna keep going. Shut up. Stop. Okay. We're gonna keep going because we haven't actually talked about the intended topic whatsoever.
I think I'm about to crack open a new water bottle.
Yeah.
Round 2, baby. Let's go.
I'm prepared. Round 2, baby. So, mine is the complete opposite. I work for this married couple who are in their 60s, and they have owned this business.
It's a movie theater.
It's a movie theater.
In case you didn't get that earlier.
Yes. They've owned the business for 10 years, so they know what they're doing and all that. And they are the purest people I've met in a long time. They're like Alex.
Alex Redacted?
Alex Redacted.
They are.
They're both like Alex, dude.
Our friend
They're
Alex.
so
who,
pure.
Alex, if you're listening to
He's
this,
so sweet.
you are very much welcome to be a guest on the show.
Ooh.
We are open to guest stars. Guest hosts.
Can we have Ryan Seacrest on it?
Yeah, let's get him.
I'm gonna say back to you, Ryan, every 12 seconds.
He's
Without fail.
He's in the middle of talking.
Back
and you're
to
like,
you,
back
Ryan.
to you, Ryan.
Anyway.
Yeah. Continue.
Oh,
Jinx.
Jinx again!
What is this?
That was awful.
Love is an Open Door.
Frozen 2, November 22nd. I work in a movie theater.
He does.
Proof.
I don't know any dates to movies because I don't have TV and I don't watch commercials.
Yeah. So, they're really sweet. I've been working there since the end of August, so what the heck month is it? It's November.
It's the towards the beginning. It's
So-
November 11th right now.
So a little over 2 months.
Yeah.
And they trust me so much, and they like me a lot more than I feel like I deserve. But they already let me open and close, and
by himself.
yeah, and do the registers and stuff, balance out the registers. So I literally
I didn't know they
handle.
let you do that.
You didn't?
That's really trustworthy.
I literally handle their money. I know the combination to their safe.
That's impressive.
But oh my gosh, it's an amazing job. I I came in one morning after I went to the gym, and I was wearing, like, some form of joggers. You know, something that you would imagine is not appropriate for work in any situation, really.
After you tell this story, I got a story about joggers at the workplace.
Joggers at the workplace. Can we title this episode Joggers at the Workplace?
They were pretty good.
I like that. So I come in wearing these joggers, and I ask one of my bosses, I'm like, you know, I brought something to change into, but just for the heck of it, are these okay to wear? And she was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, she was so casual about it, and I totally expected her to say no. So I just wore joggers to work.
He's told me multiple times that they literally don't care what you wear, but
wear black.
Yeah, they suggest wearing black.
Because
a strong suggestion.
Oh my gosh.
Popcorn butter.
We have like a butter topping that you have the option of getting, and it stains really bad. We literally have these 35-pound bags of liquid butter that we have to change every now and then.
35 pounds.
35 pounds, yes. It's ridiculous.
Paula Dean would have a day with that. That's incredible. I gotta tell my jogger story. Alright, so, in case you didn't catch it earlier, I worked at the big Mickey
Maccas.
D's. The Maccas, for those of you in Australia who won't be listening to this. So, I don't know if you've been to a McDonald's recently. Probably not, because they're terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, they have a dress code. You know, you have to wear the McDonald's shirt, you have to wear black pants, and you have to wear non-slip shoes.
They have a dress code, not a health code.
Yeah, that's very true. So, when I worked there, which was a year ago, a little over a year ago, I worked there for a little over a year. Towards the end of my career at the Mickey D's, I didn't care. Because...
You didn't care the whole time.
Well, I didn't care the whole time, but I cared even less. It was like caring about leaving at that point. I was caring so little that I wanted them to fire me. So one day, I just woke up. I was wearing joggers to sleep because it was cold. And I just woke up, and I was like, nah. So I just threw my McDonald's shirt on over my t-shirt that I was wearing, and threw on my Vans. I didn't even put on my non-slick shoes. I just put on my Vans. I expected them to send me home. I was 100% certain that they were going to be like, no, go home and change. And I was going to say, well, if I go home, I'm staying home. And what they did was I walked in my gray joggers. They look similar to these. You can't see them.
He's wearing joggers and I'm wearing ripped jeans. That's why I said that earlier.
But they were dark gray joggers, and they were a little tight in the downstairs region.
Speaking of Australia.
Down under. So, what happened was, I walked in, and the manager at the time was an older woman, and I actually... Did you just hurt yourself?
I just popped my hip, and it hurt really bad.
You old man. But I liked the manager herself. Like, she wasn't bad. But she took one look at my pants, and she just looked me in the eye and said, and I'm quoting this, she said, "I can see your whole penis." And that was...
I've never heard this story.
That was the first thing that she said to me, and I just laughed, and I was like, what? And she was like, you heard what I said. You need to change pants. And I was like, these are the only clean pants I had that even resembled work pants, which was a lie. But I didn't care at the time. Which, looking back, I should have. Which is fair. I should have cared, but I didn't. And it was...
I don't think any McDonald's employee has ever cared.
No.
Period.
My girlfriend actually worked there with me, and she didn't care either. So... she cared more than I did, and she didn't care. So
yeah.
That's showing how little I care. And I didn't even tuck in my shirt or anything, and she just handed me the headset
for the drive-thru and said, "Listen, if you're in the drive-thru, they're not going to see your pants. You're working back there tonight." And I was so depressed because I thought they were going to send me home and I had to work an 8-hour shift. I had to close the store, but I was comfortable. And that's what matters.
That's all that matters.
I was wearing joggers. I took my work shirt off once we closed, and I was just wearing joggers and a t-shirt and Vans. That was the most comfortable I've been closing.
Truly all that matters.
They had a speaker there that night. One of my friends accidentally left their speaker, and I texted him, and he was like, just leave it there. You can use it. So I plugged my phone in, listened to music, did dishes, and we actually got out of there like 30 minutes earlier than we normally would have.
I love listening to music while closing. That's like
listening to music while you work in general is just nice.
It is.
Listening to music is so calming and it makes you focus. It really helps me focus a lot.
It does.
Whenever I clean my room or do laundry or stuff, I always play music because it really helps me focus and get it done.
In terms of like focus and stuff, I read this somewhere, and I actually like have started using it a lot. If you listen to music that you don't know, it's supposed to like help you focus more.
That's weird.
And I found that to be very true. Like when I was cleaning my room the other day, or yesterday, I was just listening to random playlists, and if I listen to music that I know and listen to a lot, it like really distracts me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like singing along, and I can't really like do stuff and sing at the same time. Because that's another thing about both of us. We're very
musically
inclined. We both sing.
Both play instruments, or at least try
kind
to.
Of.
I can
We literally both went there.
So, my library of
Your
playable
skill
instruments,
set.
my skill set, my weapon of choice is the ukulele. I'm not the best at it. I can also kind of play the guitar, and
He's pretty good.
kind of play the piano.
This boy has rhythm.
I do have very good rhythm. That is something that I'm very good at, and I can pick out.
And he has some pipes. He's got a
Well,
good range.
thank you.
We do have very similar ranges, though.
Yeah,
They are...
which is not great when you're trying to duet a song. Because one of you tries to sing the high part and it doesn't sound good, and then the other one tries to sing the low part and it doesn't sound good, and we're like,
Yeah.
guess we just sing the middle.
We're both...
For those of you who understand, we are baritones.
I would say we're bass baritones. Because we're both...
Somewhat tenor 1. No, tenor 2.
What?
Tenor 2.
That's not right.
The low range is what we're saying. For those of you who don't know musical terminology, we sing low.
Yeah.
And
a little bit of high, both of us.
sometimes we can get high if we're warmed up and if we're in the mood.
In the mood.
Hamood.
What is that?
You don't know that? That's a discussion for another time, brother. We gotta end this
Alright.
episode.
Do you think we actually talked about us enough?
Not enough, but we can do another episode.
To do.
We can do it. We just cut this here and then start the next one. We've got all the time.
I think I need some coffee in me.
Get some coffee and then
I'm tired.
take a break.
11:54 p.m.
This young man goes
Monday
to bed
night
goes to
on
bed at
Veterans
6,
Day.
He goes to bed at 6 p.m.
What?
He's like an old
No,
man. It's 4 in the afternoon and he's tired. Meanwhile, it's 4 in the morning and I'm still kicking.
Shut up! You were talking about this earlier. I like your bad sleeping habits. I used to have really bad sleeping habits too. I like a couple years ago during summer, I would. Oh my gosh, I would stay up till like 4 every night or every morning, whatever you want to say, and then wake up at like 1 or 2 in the day. And it was just awful. And looking back on it, it really wasn't, like, that great.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you feel really crappy. But now I go to bed at, like, midnight and get up at, like, 8, usually.
It's a lot
through
better.
the week. Because I've started going to the gym before work, which has never been something I've been able to do. So, and I've started, like, learning how to cook basic food. basic breakfast and stuff. So
He-
I'll like make
he told
myself
me-
scrambled eggs. Oh
he,
my
he
gosh.
told me the other
About
morning.
pancakes.
He's like, I made some pancakes, and the first one was really undercooked, and then the
No,
second.
other way around.
Oh, so he goes, the first one was like black, and then
Yeah.
the second one was like I didn't even cook it, and
No,
then the
no,
third one.
it wasn't that dramatic.
The third one was
first
just right.
The first one was a good amount of burnt.
It's like a little
a
too
little,
much.
little charred around the edges, you know.
Looked like a frisbee.
And
You
then-
just pick it
Shut
up,
up.
throw it on the ground, and it shatters.
The second one was slightly undercooked. Like it wasn't that like golden brown pancake kind of look.
The good pancake.
It was like kind of yellowy. It was a little undercooked. Like I couldn't like taste batter, but
you bite into it, and it's like, oh, egg. Okay.
so I ate the second one.
Are there
It was
eggs
pretty
in
good.
pancakes?
There
There are.
I've made
I put
pancakes
eggs
before.
in them.
What
You
if
don't have
there's
to.
not supposed to be eggs in pancakes, and we're weird? We put
It
egg-
said on the box to put an egg in it.
Okay, well, Bisquick? Was it Bisquick?
I don't
It
think
was-
so.
Off-brand? Laura
I don't
Lynn brand?
remember. I don't remember.
That's the Ingles brand.
That's my mom's brand.
Laura. Oh. You gotta redact that. I can't tell your mom's name. I call her Laura.
How am I gonna go around that?
No,
I'll
you don't
figure
have
it
to.
out.
We don't have to remove your mother's
Yeah,
name.
honestly, yeah, my mom's name
What's her
is Laura.
social?
Her
Her name's Laura, and I call her Laura.
yeah, because she gets really mad. It's Lora, which is different.
Obviously
than,
Laura.
Yeah,
And I
but
say
most
Laura,
most
like
of the
Laura
time it's
Croft.
Laura.
We gotta end this episode.
What was
Yeah.
I talking about? We were talking about pancakes. So, first one kind of burnt. Second one kind of undercooked. The third one was amazing. It was actually, granted, you and I both have very low standards for food.
We really do. We eat anything.
We will eat anything.
Which is very weird because he's a very picky person when it comes to literally anything else in his life. But when it comes to food, if it's edible, he's like, yeah, give it to me.
Exactly. Food is the one thing that I'm not picky about, and it's weird. But I actually used to be. I don't know what happened.
I've never been
I don't know
picky.
what happened.
I've realized that I have a very strange taste palette. So when I... What time are we at right now?
48 minutes.
Yes, sir. Whenever I don't like something, say mushrooms. I didn't like mushrooms for the longest
love
time.
mushrooms.
I still don't ridiculously enjoy them, but I can tolerate them now, and I do not mind them in
Yeah.
like sauces and like spaghetti and stuff
That's
like
how
that.
I am. Even foods that I don't like, I will still eat.
And he's a really good example. So at Ingles, we have a sub bar, like a
Subpar. Is it subpar?
No, it's actually really good. So imagine Subway, but they actually care about you.
Subs. I can't say that.
No, you can't say that. There's a sub shop in town that's really really good, and he just
I'm pretty sure it's local.
it's local. It used to be a Blimpies, and now it's a local place.
Blimpies is a chain.
Yeah, that's a chain. Blimpies is also good. If you've never been to a Blimpies,
in a
sponsor.
long time. Dude, shut up.
So
Sponsored by Great Value Purified Drinking Water.
sponsored by water, bro.
Sponsored by water.
So
Wow.
they have subs, and I never used to like tomatoes, but then one of my friends got tomatoes on their subs, and I was like, that's not terrible. So I started getting tomatoes on my subs, and it was really good. And Mom, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but I like tomatoes. My mom is notorious for despising their existence, and she says they taste like snot. Not they taste. They have the consistency of snot, which is
That's fair.
reasonable. They do the inside. But yeah, my taste palette kind of changes when I just force myself to eat the thing that I don't like,
Yeah.
and then I just start liking
basically.
it. Yeah, we gotta end the
So-
episode. We have to.
We
This is too long.
We wanted to talk about ourselves,
Might have to wait for episode
and
2.
we ended up talking mostly about food, which I feel like is accurate. I feel like that's a job well done.
We've talked about ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about our jobs.
That's basically us.
Food. Yeah.
We are food.
Well,
How are
yeah.
we gonna end this?
I don't know. This has been episode 1 or 0, maybe.
We should do
episode 1.
We should do some sort of unique ending thing, but I don't know what. You're creative. Go for it.
Well, You put me on the spot.
We should. Okay, we can start this some other time, but we should like draw something out of a hat.
Like every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun. All right. Well, until then,
Leave suggestions in the comments.
in the comment section.
Yeah, we're posting on YouTube.
Yeah, we're
Because we're broke. Actually, not really, but
We're not completely
I don't want
broke,
to pay to
put on
put
Spotify
something
because
on
it's
Spotify.
so expensive. Anyway,
and
this is it.
complicated.
Quit talking.
Au revoir.
Goodbye. We'll that was terrible.
Goodbye.
We'll see.
Me
you.
trying to do the intro. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you, or
A
we
day
won't
has
see
passed.
you because you don't know what we look like, unless you
but
know
you
us.
will.
Yes, face reveal at 1K. That's false. Maybe.
I'll do a face reveal now. I don't care. I'm hot.
Speaking of, it's really hot in here.
It is very hot. here.
While we take a break, you need to turn the AC on.
I will.
All right, see you guys.
I'm gonna eat some mixed nuts too.
Okay.
We should harmonize by.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
That was good.